Squatting is against the law here in Michigan, although some think more needs to be done to crack down on people who take up residence on a piece of property they don't own or even rent.
Tonight, News Channel 3's Kirk Mason takes a look at new legislation proposed in Lansing and what it could mean for property owners.
Republican State Representative Steve Frisbie, who represents Calhoun County, has introduced legislation called the SHIELD Act. The legislation is designed to get tough on squatters and strengthen the rights of Michigan property owners.
If they produce the right kind of documentation, even if it's forged, it's at least a 7-day process to get somebody out of your own home.
Stories like this one on CBS News about squatters prompted Frisbie to propose the legislation.
Are you going to move out?
It's not possible for me to get all my stuff out now.
A man living in a house he didn't own or rent in California, Frisbie fears the issue of squatters could get worse for a couple of reasons. Cost of living increases, and he fears artificial intelligence could complicate matters.
With the advent of AI and the ability to reproduce what look like legitimate documents as we move forward in the improvements in printers and things like that, it really trips up law enforcement into inactivity.
Frisbie's legislation in the Michigan House would require a person to immediately show through legal documents that they can live at the property. He says now it's a process that can take a week or longer to play out.
The sheriff's deputy would be authorized then to immediately remove and potentially arrest the person that's occupying the building.
Erica Farley is the executive director of the Rental Property Owners Association of Michigan. Farley says there aren't firm numbers to track how often squatting is happening in Michigan, but Farley says squatting is a serious problem that can impact how much a landlord can actually make or earn.
When someone is sitting in a property for which they are not paying any sort of rent or upkeep for the property, then that is something that is taking away from the property owner, because the average property owner earns about 1 to 3 cents on every dollar of rent that they collect.
There are some in the state raising concerns about the legislation.
I think that this response is both excessive and somewhat duplicative of rights that owners of property already have.
Jim Schaffma is a lawyer with the Michigan Poverty Law Program. He says there's a process for courts to handle these cases already, though he concedes it can take longer.
A true squatter does not have rights, but I'll say, having worked in this area of law, that there's a lot of fuzziness around that, and it's the classic there's more than one side to a story.
The SHIELD Act stands for Safeguarding Homeownership and Interests Through Eviction Law and Development. It's been referred to a House committee. Frisbie says he's now working on getting bipartisan support from Democrats. Kirk Mason, News Channel 3.